Gauntlet. Yeah, you are right on time, bro. Um, we're gonna be doing the Stone Gauntlet today. We're back. Uh, this time I promise it won't be a 3 hour stream. I think we've talked about that and have relegated it down to a much more reasonable one. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are ready for this.
I'll make
So
sure to make mine 2 hours long.
and that's why we're gonna silence him at some point. The last we have decided, I think collectively, that if major events come up like the video game awards or Otacon, maybe even E3 if there's good shit there this year, we will cover those exclusively in the podcast as opposed to trying to put them around other stuff. Um, Going forth, every January is going to be a review of the year before in each of our three categories, and that is video games, movies and TV, and anime. So, my name is Kenny Crook Irish Curvy. You may know me from such things as buying 4 A&W root beer packs because they were on sale, 4 for $13. I will be your host through this podcast, and I am joined today by Spider Dude.
Hello, guys. I'm Spider Dude, and yeah, I'm just here having fun, chilling. Yay.
I am also joined today by Jordan Rabble.
Yeah, hey, I'm Jordan. I'm Ravel. I'll be your anime and manga expert for this session.
And in case you guys didn't catch it, Spider Dude is going to be our movie and TV expert, and I will be doing the video games. Give me just 1 second.
Let's go, movies and TVs. Obviously, the better ones. I'm joking.
Oh, okay. I have some issues with the picks, but we will discuss it when we get there.
He
Um,
always has issues. I mean, I have a major issue with one of yours, so.
oh yeah, I knew, dude. As soon as I knew that I threw this on here, I was like, Mike and I are gonna fight about this. I fully expected it. But going off, video games 2022. Let's talk about the best games that came out that year. And if you have to ask, then you weren't there to play it. Top game of the year was Elden Ring. Can I get a hooyah?
Booyah. Booyah. 100%.
I mean, I have different opinions, but it was a good game.
Elden Ring came in and was like, Breath of the Wild did what? It changed the entire dynamic of an open world RPG. Hold my beer. Um, their world was phenomenal. Walking around in each area felt distinct. It felt different. I would walk into places like Caelid or the fucking Night City and go, "What happened here? Who came the or like who lived here? What happened to these people?" It encouraged me to seek out the lore of the game, which is something I've never truly done outside of shit like that I'm really into, like Halo or Star Wars. Um, Elden Ring took me by surprise. It grabbed me by the balls and it held me for about 2 to 3 months. And there were times when I would tell people, "Fuck off! I'm playing Elden Ring."
He also became the Jedi Elden
You know,
teacher.
I remember when you first started playing Elden Ring, and that was a sight to behold. But you beat it, right?
Oh yeah, dude, I
See?
beat it, and then I was so fucking addicted to Elden Ring that I went back and beat it again with my family. I walked them through the game because I
Well,
was in.
screw me, so.
Well, yeah, we did. we, we we got Spider Dude the game and then immediately abandoned him in the open area, at at Limelight, the beginning area.
Yeah.
But by that point, I had taken my dad to a point where he was actually decent in Elden Ring. And we're talking like a 60-year-old dude who ended up beating a couple bosses without me there. And he was like, "Oh, it was nothing," or, "You helped me out a lot." And I'm like, when you do shit like Elden Ring, That's pride. Like
Yeah.
when you can actually take down a boss or two by yourself. I mean, we're talking to like if Rabble may be the anime expert, but he also beat Sekiro, and that's like on another level.
Nah, you could do it. If you can beat Elden Ring, you can beat Sekiro. Trust, it's just pain, but you get through it.
I don't have the patience for Sekiro. So, moving on to second place, the only real contender this year, God of War Ragnarok. Um, I wake up in the morning and I play God of War. And sometimes during the day, I'll think about the story and how it went. I am savoring this fucking game like a $1,200 restaurant dinner. You know, like I like spending 1 to 2 hours on it per day and just kind of immersing myself into the world of Ragnarok, into like Kratos' shoes, into his son's footsteps. Every twist and turn I come upon in that game, every time the narrative switches, every time something happens, it's always done well. It's always done fantastically, and the voice actors fucking knock it out of the park.
I can definitely agree because I haven't played it yet, but it looks like an amazing game.
Yeah, I mean, God of War has always been a favorite. Like, it hurts to say this, but I have not touched either of this generation's God of War, like barely, and it's on my list, but I need to do it. I know I'm missing out.
You're killing me, Smalls. Look,
I know.
God of War 1 or the God of War reboot and Ragnarok are the reasons for a PlayStation right now.
Yeah, that's kind
Yeah,
of why I'm aiming for PlayStation.
And Spider-Man.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've
and
just been
Spider-Man, of course.
I've been slamming too many multiplayer games. I gotta break free and get a nice single player experience in.
You really do. I mean, you have a PlayStation, right?
A PlayStation 4. Is it on PlayStation 4?
Yeah, yeah, it should be.
Okay, then I have no excuse. I have no excuse.
Yeah, I mean, God of War, at least the reboot's on 4. Pretty sure the second one is. And no, you don't have any excuse. Like, after the last Stone Gauntlet, I went and bought fucking Sifu. So,
Oh shit. Okay.
See
What'd you
who?
think?
I haven't played it yet. But it's sitting on my PlayStation now. Right alongside the 3,000 other games I started playing. Like, I'm doing Torchlight in place of Diablo right now because it's the best, like, Diablo clone out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. You excited for Diablo 4 then?
Oh my god. I'm going to lose my summer to two things: Tears of the Kingdom and Diablo 4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And
lose my uncle.
everything else is just going to fuck off between those.
What'd you say, Micah?
That I'm gonna lose my uncle for the summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. I mean, you can join me in Diablo 4.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
join us. We'll be
yeah.
playing together probably. So
Join the dark side.
I guess I'll have to join the dark side again.
Plus, Dad's going to get it, and then, yeah, you get it, and then we'll all have it. We can all just roll around in Diablo. I think it's like 8 player.
yeah.
Cool.
All right, so moving on, third place, and this might surprise some people out there that really like the video games this year for whatever fucking reason. Um, Here's the reason why I put this in third place, because when I see this game, I go, they finally fucking did it. You know, they've been trying for the past 15 to 16 to even 20 years to replicate one of the golden age arcade games. And I'm talking, of course, Shredder's Revenge. Uh, Shredder's Revenge brought me immediately back to those days when they had arcades in the fucking buildings, and I was playing right alongside my friends, and it was fucking Turtles in Time, the one with Slash, which they took out for the fucking Xbox for some goddamn reason. So when Shredder's Revenge dropped, these guys went, you guys can't make a fucking good turtle game? Here's the formula. Introduce some fucking characters that we all know that are kind of obscure. Uh, Base everything off Turtles in Time. And B, make a couple levels that are interesting and cool. Even if one of them continues to kill you a bunch. That is Shredder's Revenge. That game kicks so much fucking ass that I'm still thinking about it to this day. A lot of games I take off of my Xbox as soon as I beat them or I move them someplace else. Shredder's Revenge is sitting up there, taking up important solid state drive or space on the off chance that someday one of my friends or family members is going to go, let's play Shredder's Revenge.
Okay, you've convinced me. Like, what consoles is it
Uh,
on?
it's on the Nintendo Switch. It's on the PlayStation. It's on the Xbox. It's probably on the PC. Um, the first Turtles game might I fucking add 6-player co-op. Like you can have April O'Neil, Casey Jones, uh, Splinter, and 3 more turtles in there at the same goddamn time, and you just tear shit
Yeah,
across the fucking map.
definitely
Okay,
really fun. I enjoyed it.
yeah. Let me check Game Pass. I wonder if it's on there.
And then I do want to do an honorable mention just because they released a sequel that did it right. River City Girls 2. Um, I loved River City Girls 1, and as soon as I saw 2 up on the marketplace, it was an instant buy. There was no question. I was like, I'm gonna pick that up because I know what I'm getting myself into, which is good 2D brawler with nice little jokes thrown in and the ability to play with friends.
We all know the main reason he actually bought it was just to look at the cute girls.
I mean, the chicks are really hot in it too, so that helps. All right, we're gonna do the worst of list. The first one, and I'm pretty sure Mike is putting on his boxing gloves right now
I
because
am. I'm gonna come over there and like
Oh
knock
man, I'm
you
waiting
out.
for this.
hear me,
Oh no!
hear me,
Open
hear me
up.
out, and I will explain to you why.
Yeah, you better explain.
Okay, I wouldn't. Maybe I put these out of order. This isn't top spot. Sonic Frontiers. Uh, when when I played Sonic Frontiers, I was like, this game is cool. It's fresh. It's fun. I get to roll around all these crazy worlds and shit. Until I got to the second island, and I was like, oh, this game is pretty cool. I just went supersonic, and I'm running around this world and collecting stuff. And then I got to the third island, and I was like, this is the I'm collecting shit. It's cool. Here's Knuckles. And then I looked it up and I realized the fourth island was exactly the same as the first one. It was just
Oh,
cut from the original map. I realized that I had done everything in Sonic Frontiers before in better games. Assassin's Creed, Ghost of Tsushima, fucking Ragnarok to some extent, Tomb Raider to some extent, and I'm like, this is the same shit over and over again. And what they're trying to do is release some kind of sandbox Sonic game without anything really attached to it. I felt detached from the game because I look at the structures in the sky that go leading nowhere, and I look at the shit that the fourth island is exactly the same as the first one, and I go, you know what? This is lazy design choices.
that's
It,
fair. I'm still stuck on the first island because I just like beating up the robots. So
sorry
I
for
can't
ruining the game
about
for
it
you.
at all.
But I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is exactly, they could have connected these railways somehow. They could have made a ramp up there that made it look cooler and more organic. But what they did was throw a bunch of shit in the sky and then claim it's a digital realm to excuse their laziness as developers.
Yeah, it's lost potential. Like it's always sad to see that like a game released too early. Um,
Mm.
it's a tale as old as time, right? So many games have done that, and I feel like it was just like an unfinished product. Like they had a really grand idea, kind of executed on it, and then just it fell short. And that's kind of what all the stuff I see online too. So you hit it right on the money.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That the fact that you actually like claimed your point, I'm now calm down.
At the end of the day, it's an opinion. Games
Yeah,
are art. Everyone interprets art differently, right? So
I mean, that's true. And
yeah,
I just saw this as like, I was sitting there on a Saturday on the third island doing the same shit. The game actually gate locked me from doing like a side quest, which royally pissed me off. And that's like a filling out the fog on the map sort of side quest. And
Yeah.
which is like one of the worst things you can do to me as a fucking OCD gamer. And I kind of came to the realization that I'm sitting here on this fucking day off and I'm playing this over God of War Ragnarok. And so Sonic Frontiers had the balls to drop right along fucking side God of War Ragnarok as if it even had legs to stand on. This,
Damn.
this is a fucking this is a warning to all you developers out there that are thinking June and May releases. Steer clear. Uh, Tears of the Kingdom drops in May. Nobody's gonna buy another game over that. Fucking Diablo 4 is supposedly dropping in June, and I can guarantee you anything around that is not going to do very well in sales.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So we got Overwatch 2 launch is my second gripe about the worst things in fucking 2022 gaming. And the Overwatch 2 launch went a little like this. Blizzard reached out to all of its Overwatch fans and were like, "Hey, you really love this game?" And they were all like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay," and kicked them straight in the balls. Um,
Yeah.
their game refused to fucking work for 3 days. Games that gamers had actually paid for, called Overwatch 1, disappeared from the marketplace and was replaced by Overwatch 2, which is just Overwatch 1 with a shitty 1.5 patch that somehow makes the game worse.
Nah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and see the thing. I've been playing a ton of Overwatch too. But I agree. They fumbled the fuck out of the launch, and there's still some broken stuff. And they released a new champion, by the way, and surprise, surprise, he's broken. Yeah, they gotta get those battle pass buys right, and then they'll nerf him into the ground after the season is over. So.
Yeah, and that's my other gripe, the battle pass. Like, look, if you're gonna have a battle pass on your shit, make it cool. And case in point, Fortnite. Fortnite knows how to do a fucking battle pass. You got the Doomslayer, you got Geralt, you got fucking all sorts of cool looking dudes in there you can unlock.
Oh yeah, speaking of Fortnite, somebody said that they might add Ash Ketchum to it.
I'd fucking play Ash Ketchum. When playing Overwatch 2, I got this foreboding sense that I was about to spend more money on a fucking game that I wasn't gonna play as much after I got the initial hype in, as I would like say Fortnite. So basically, I was playing two Fortnites. Just one had a far better battle pass, so I moved over to that.
Somehow I accidentally got him addicted because he saw Indiana Jones, and then it was like, haha, thousands of dollars.
I deny that story.
You know, well, I was gonna say, have you heard about people being able to get refunds because of the lawsuit?
Oh yeah, I mean their controller configuration was fucked, which I found hilarious because I remember sitting there when I first started playing Fortnite this summer, and I was like, wait a sec, X is purchase, is not view the items. It's like, but when you're in the locker, X is view the items. So everybody's like trying to view these items and pressing X, uh, and accidentally buying them, and I'm like, Fortnite's probably gonna have to change this, and somehow, and
Now they're
lo,
sued. Yeah.
lo and behold, 2 months later, September. I mean, they fixed it.
They're like, whoops.
I'm sorry,
We
Jordan.
just got an extra $1 million. Wait, sorry.
No, it's your segment, brother.
Did you want to say anything?
No, that was good. That was it.
All right. We'll do the final thing of 2022. That's the entire year, guys. Let's be honest. This has not been a year for video games.
I mean,
Luckily,
Lego Star Wars was good for a little bit.
Lego Star Wars was fun. In fact,
It's
it
just
it could have made my top three if Ninja Turtles didn't knock it out of the park. You know?
Was Lego Star
well,
Wars this year?
Yeah,
somebody did make a fair point too about Lego Star Wars. You traveled too much.
yeah. It's a gigantic fucking game, and I got about halfway. I beat like the main story, and I got about halfway through the collectibles, and I was like, well, this is taking up a lot of my time.
Yeah,
you know. So I've kind of like shelved that for the time being. I like it, and I liked, some of the games this year. I truly think fucking Elden Ring carried the brunt for like a lot of the game industry. Uh,
yeah.
Followed by fucking Ragnarok. You know, Call of Duty doesn't count because that gets released like every fucking month.
Wait,
So
when did the Spider-Man games come out? Didn't Miles Morales also come out this year?
no, that was
Uh,
last year.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. So it's like, and let's be real. It was a chip shortage. It was mixed with the console shortage. The pandemic royally fucked us. The scare from Cyberpunk pushed a lot of games back because now developers were like, "Oh, I guess we can't release half fucking done products."
yeah.
Um, and so everything got pushed back into this year. But I will be fucked if I'm not sitting here in January discussing the likes of Dead Space potentially being the bottom of the rung against like fucking Breath of the Wild 2 and like Diablo 4, Skull and Bones is dropping. You got the Resident Evil 4 remake coming out, uh, followed by like fucking the new Jedi game. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
looking at like the past 2 months being like I had nothing to play to. I got too much shit to play.
Yeah, we got a
Yeah.
lot coming out. You know, this might be just me, but I'm kind of excited about the Harry Potter game. I think it's
That
either gonna be fucking awful or it's gonna be really good. We'll see though.
I
Oh, I
actually
know.
have hope for that too, because that actually does look good.
Yeah,
I,
And I've never seen anything Harry Potter.
I've always wanted an open world Harry Potter game, and it's actually happening. Such a weird niche thing.
which house are you guys gonna be?
Oh, definitely Slytherin.
What about you, Micah?
I'm probably gonna take the test and see which house I'm at, and then decide from there.
I'm gonna be
Because
Slytherin.
Yeah, first
yeah,
playthrough,
well,
I'm gonna
100%.
yeah, I'm gonna go as evil can. I'm just gonna be the dickest fucking student in that school.
the funny thing is, I found this video of a guy that's like, "Oh yeah, it's like inspector for like schools." He's like, "Are you guys sure it's safe to put all the evil kids in one like section of the school?" He's like, "Yeah, we might need to fix that."
So
Well,
yeah, I've got Hogwarts Legacy on my Xbox ready to go when it drops. I've also got Dead Space, so I think next month I'll be talking about both of them.
nice.
Yeah.
And then just real quick, an honorable mention, GTA 5. We never asked for another one. That was I didn't need GTA 5.3000
GTA 5 came out this year. I thought it came out a while ago.
Re-release on
re-release.
Oh,
PS5, right? Yeah.
Yep. It went
oh,
it is now gone from 360 to the Xbox One, to the Xbox One Elite, to the fucking Series X now. And that's within one console. That's 4 releases.
okay.
This is too much. Just
Yeah.
give us fucking GTA 6. Stop building this dumb shit and either give us GTA 6 or, God forbid, Red Dead Redemption 3.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Rockstar
understandable.
needs to release some new games. Like people need to stop giving them money.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about video games this year, guys. So I think we're going to turn it over to Micah for his movies and TV segment.
Okay, for my best, one of my tops is Moon Knight because I actually really enjoyed that show. Like whenever it came out on Wednesday, I actually literally took my time in school and watched the episode. Like throughout gym and lunch. That's how good it was. So I didn't even pay attention through gym. So that's like why I'm still sick. Yay! But it was Moon Knight. I
Hey,
actually enjoyed that TV series.
technically, you could say you've been learning Egyptian.
Well, yeah, that's also another thing.
Yeah, and martial arts. So technically, you were in gym. So,
Hey,
Yeah,
this country's built on technicalities, so let's say you passed.
yeah. Well, I mean, my gym teacher didn't even care. He looked at me and was like, "Okay," and just walked off.
He probably wouldn't watch fucking Moon Knight himself. If
Yeah,
that, or was like,
probably.
I'd be doing that if I could.
Okay, and then my next one, which I just recently watched, and it came out during December, so it was kind of the end of the year. And I kind of replaced it with Bullet Train. Don't get me wrong, Bullet Train, I love the movie, especially the whole Thomas the Train Engine thing, where you can base that off of people. Definitely keep using that. It's hilarious. But Puss in Boots was amazing. Fully suggest it. Like, this movie, like me, I love How to Train Your Dragon, but this is very close to passing How to Train Your Dragon. Gets to that point. Like, for all you Shrek lovers, there's a few little clips where you'll actually see in Puss's memories of Shrek. They're just like little glimpses of him. You get to see Shrek and Donkey a couple of times. You don't get to hear him talk though. So
yeah, I saw. I think it was an Instagram reel because I'm a boomer, so I don't use TikTok. But I saw like a reel of the wolf from Puss in Boots, and I'm literally gonna go see it just because of he looks awesome. Like he looks exactly like the character I wanna like be inspired by. So uh,
yeah.
I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know how evil he really is. But yeah, I, it looks good.
To
Okay, out of any kids movie you'd ever recommend me, I'd probably watch Puss in Boots
yeah.
one
And
and
like
two.
to the wolf thing, the wolf is like so unique. Like in my opinion, it's the best DreamWorks villain you could actually get. He has very little screen time though, but like you'll understand why eventually once you watch it, but like he is perfect
He's
the way they
absolute
put him.
absolute Chad. It looks
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
An absolute Chad. All right.
And then for me, well, for my third one, it's probably got to be Sonic 2. I actually enjoyed the first Sonic. Then seeing this one, like, he had a good character growth, in my opinion. And I loved it just because it introduced Knuckles. And if you haven't seen it already, I'm sorry, but it shows Shadow at the end, revealing the third movie. Except I do have a problem with it, and that was Jim Carrey's last time playing in Sonic. So
I don't know how you became a Sonic fan. Like, if Rabble came up to me and was like, "Hey, I'm one of the biggest Sonic fans on the planet," I'd be like, "Oh, that makes sense because you and we grew up with Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and
Yeah.
like the good shit." Like you grew up in the age when every Sonic game sucked dick. How
well,
did you become a Sonic fan?
Well, wait. I have a question for Micah. Micah, have you
yeah,
played Sonic Adventure Battle 2?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, I'm going to buy you. I got you, brother. I got you. I'm gonna fund it. I'll figure out what console to go on. It was on GameCube. Literally, the best. Defines my childhood. Oh, amazing. But
I
go
think
ahead. Sorry.
Sonic Adventure 2 is on Xbox 360 arcade, and it's backwards compatible.
Let me check.
Okay.
But yeah,
But
keep going.
to me, I forgot why I got obsessed with Sonic. Like the latest memory I can remember from when I officially loved Sonic was when I got to try him in Smash. Because like I love the idea of a speedy blue hedgehog that's hilarious and loves chili dogs. He's just like a very unique character. He's like that. He's he's like that leader character that's super funny and like doesn't even care about much until it like comes to friends. Like that's like he's just a unique character to me that I fell in love with.
So I helped you find Sonic.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
pretty much.
All right. Air high five.
Yeah.
Micah, do you play PC games?
I don't have a PC.
You don't have a
So.
PC? Okay, that's all right. That's all right. I'll find another way.
That's not
But
necessarily true. He has Series X.
Can you
that's a PC.
can you play Steam on a Series X?
Oh no, I
Oh,
don't.
okay. I was about to be like, that's pretty dope. If you can. I didn't know though.
I don't even know
But yeah,
what scene is.
for
Oh,
me,
go ahead.
running into Sonic is like me running into Leonardo. I fell in love with automatically right as I saw Leonardo. I fell in love with him. I was like, that is my dude.
You know, everybody has a turtle. Mine would be
Yep.
Michelangelo.
Mine's always split now between Leonardo and Mikey, but Leonardo is still higher than Mikey for me, so it always will be.
What about you, Rebel?
Which one's the one with the katana?
That's Leonardo.
Then Leonardo. 100%.
All
It's because the katana.
right. So Micah, what's your worst?
My worst, I'm sorry for people if you care so much about her. Miss Marvel. Why I do not like this show is one, because it's not Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel, you expect her to be like Mr. Fantastic, stretchy, embiggen, if you want to go Miss Marvel style. In this show, she doesn't do that. Instead, she wears this magical bracelet that basically creates like glass stuff for her, which is very annoying because, like, Miss Marvel's that stretchy type of character. It's like, oh,
Wow,
Okay.
so they completely changed her? She's not
yeah,
stretchy?
no.
How many
I mean,
comics
they
do you
got.
read?
Oh, I just know she's stretchy, so
Oh shit.
I've seen her in like shows and stuff. Never really seen any of the comics. It's just like it irritates me because I know she's stretchy.
You know she
And
could be
but
better.
yeah, like
That
but
means
her suit.
you're this close to greatness.
Yeah, I mean the suit looked like Miss Marvel's suit. That was one of the good parts. And I'd say she has the personality of Miss Marvel. It's just the powers was what destroyed it for me. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I saw it come out and I was like, I wasn't even interested, sadly. I mean, I'm sure I'll watch it at some point, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. Maybe I'm more like the bigger guys. Like I love Loki. I love what's that other one that they? I love WandaVision. I thought that was a cool thing. Um,
Yeah. They did Hawkeye.
See, I didn't watch Hawkeye or Miss Marvel or She-Hulk. I was just like,
Okay.
eh. Or
Hawkeye's a good Christmas one. You
Yeah.
want to watch that during Christmas.
or
Yeah,
the
Hawkeye. Oh,
Falcon
go
and
ahead.
Winter Soldier. I didn't watch that either. Because I'm like, what's the point? I know what's gonna happen at the end. Falcon becomes Captain America. I just did your like entire show in one episode.
Wow, dude, you just spoiled it for me. Wow, bro. Fuck. Yeah, no, I mean, I get you. Like, I think they're all gonna be. You're gonna need to watch them to understand the universe at some point, right? There'll be things, but yeah, I mean, you're right there. What's the Suicide Squad they're doing in Marvel? What are they called?
Suicide Squad. Oh, in
Oh, the
No,
Marvel.
Thunderbolts.
in Marvel,
Oh yeah.
like what are they called?
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that's gonna be pretty dope. It has the fake Captain America. Um, so he's from the show. If you know what I'm
Uh,
talking
Yeah.
about.
yeah. I mean, there's definitely gonna be a point where, I mean, I've been reading up on like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel and stuff just to be up to date for when like the movie drops and like this is what happened. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I think you could have completely skipped She-Hulk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of She-Hulk, that's the next on my worst list because one, the only thing the show was good with was the cameos because you got Wong, you got Abomination, you got Matt Murdock, and then you also get Matt Murdock having sex with She-Hulk.
Are you traumatized now?
Whoa! This is a PG show, Micah. You can't be spelling out those kind of words.
Yeah. What is this?
Yeah,
Church hour.
But yeah, that was kind of like the only thing. Like the ending would have been so cool because like they did it so it was like Hulk actually came in to battle the Abomination, thinking he was bad, and that would have been such a cool ending. Until they were like, "Oh hey, She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall was nice, but she broke the fourth wall, like literally broke it. She literally broke into Disney Plus, broke like half the things, and entered like a Marvel, whatever the Marvel thing is, but they show how they're making the show.
Yeah.
She goes over there and literally just walks out into a studio and it's like, "Hey, I need to talk to Kevin." And then Kevin turns into a robot. Well, he's a robot, but and he's like, "Aha, I'm the watcher of the Marvel universe or whatever." Like, no. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I need to have a 2-hour chat on how to change the ending."
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, so like you could have had a battle against the Hulk and the Abomination again, which would have been so awesome, but she's like, "Nope. This is my movie. This is my show. Bye." So she got
yeah.
rid of Bruce Banner. Instead, added Matt Murdock, who didn't do anything at the end. He was just like, "Why am I here?"
Yeah, because they threw him in there to buffer the show. It's like,
Yeah,
hey, look at She-Hulk, but also we're bringing back your favorite version of Daredevil, and everyone's
yeah,
like, oh, the show rocks. No, it doesn't. Daredevil rocks.
yeah,
She-Hulk dropped the fucking ball on multiple occasions.
yeah.
You know, everyone's
Although,
talking. Oh, go ahead, Micah.
oh no, you can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, everyone's talking about how hyped they are for Daredevil, but I'm more hyped for the Punisher. Honestly, like I love the guy who played the Punisher.
Is
I
he
don't know.
coming back in the MCU?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's gonna be in the Daredevil show.
Oh,
So
nice.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I mean, I've seen. I feel like I've seen things with. Sorry, I'm a little stuffy right now, but I have seen like uh, what's it called? Like promotional posters that have both Matt Murdock and the Punisher on there, and so I'm hyped. I actually really liked the show, so I was sad when that got canceled.
Dude, the Daredevil show from Netflix, his season where he meets Punisher is so fucking well done. It's like I love that entire season. I love John, got his last name, but John's portrayal, John Barenthal's portrayal of the
Yeah,
Punisher. He brings
yeah,
that intensity to the role that you see in season 2 of The Walking Dead when he opens the fucking barn and is like, let's just shoot them all. That's him, Punisher 24/7.
yeah, yeah. It's awesome. Like it's just based. Like I love it. I love it, man. Like it's that whole It's so good. I've rewatched the first season. I'm not a big fan of the second season of Punisher, but the first season just really, really good.
Oh yeah, I love how he's a slow ticking time bomb in that. But then when he like pops off, he actually pops off. Just like, I'm all right. Let's John Wick this motherfucker. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I really am very excited to hear your next worst, Micah. I want to
Yeah.
know what's going on here. I'm
What
in
the fuck is
Although,
this?
because I actually
although,
think I know about this.
although I did want to say about She-Hulk, it kind of opened my eyes. Like, it's sad that Stanley Lee left, but like, I think Marvel's kind of introducing their new cameo character for everything, and that's Wong. Because if you notice, Wong's popping up in every like movie that's coming up. Well, I mean, except for Thor: Love and Thunder. But like, he's popped up in so many things now that's like, maybe you should just keep adding Wong as a cameo. It would be nice because he's funny that way.
You know, he's not a bad cameo either. I mean, everybody likes Wong. Not gonna lie.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah. He should be involved in everything. He's the sorcerer,
Yeah, he's kind
sorcerer
of
supreme.
exactly very important character.
I
Okay.
mean,
And
anyone
then
that
you
can
get
tell Doctor Strange what to do. Yeah.
yeah. But you guys want to hear about this one? I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, but it sucks. Like, well, I mean, it doesn't entirely suck. They could have done like so much better though. Like, The Rock and Kevin Hart did well as Bat Dog and Crypto. Like, those two characters were good. It's just every single other character was just like, because like one, you got like Batman and Superman, of course, but then you have Wonder Woman. I mean, Wonder Woman just looks huge, but she really doesn't do anything. Then there's Green Lantern, which she's a girl. Well, yeah, they turned Green Lantern into a girl, and I'm like, why? Because I feel like they should have done the normal boy version of Green Lantern for this movie, because I believe it would have been a little bit better. Then there was Flash, and then there's another one. Aquaman. Aquaman just sucked. Sucked in general. But
Okay.
like,
Now go on.
oh well, there's this one scene. I don't care if I'm spoiling it or not.
I don't think anybody
But
cares if you spoil it
okay,
or not.
but there's this one scene where Lex Luthor traps the entire Justice League, including Batman. Batman. He's in a normal cage. And we all know Batman. He could get out of any situation, no matter what it is. This Batman just sat there and talked about his life.
What?
Yeah,
Who the fuck made this film? Okay,
exactly.
now I'm pissed. Listen, like you can't. All right, you can't start a fucking conversation with me that has to deal with either Star Wars or Batman without expecting it to go for 2 fucking hours. They fucked up. Listen,
Exactly.
I will listen to I will watch Lego Batman because Lego Batman is actually a portrayal of the character where it's a bit more comedic for kids. I get that. But
Yeah.
anything past that, Batman should be brooding, angry, and thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I thought this was totally another movie, so I did see half of Super Pets, and yeah, I mean, they essentially removed plot armor, right? Or not plot armor, but for the sake of the film, yeah, they made Batman stupid, right? They made. I think they like literally don't a bunch of gerbils overtake him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
How
whereas in
do I
another,
hate a
go ahead.
film? How do I hate a film more? I like, what do I gotta boycott Super Pets? I'm not watching this shit. Listen,
Yeah.
my favorite, the Batman, died this year. I'm not honoring him with some bullshit like Super Pets. I will honor him by playing an Arkham game or watching the Nolan series or go all the way back to his Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean,
okay.
Keanu Reeves actually played Batman. Like he sounds like a good Batman. It's just he would have been so much better for a completely different thing. I'm sorry, but like
Wait, who?
Keanu Reeves, he plays Batman in Super Pets.
Yeah.
Are you just making a list of reasons why I should hate this fucking film?
Probably. I mean, like I have a whole list. I could go on for hours. Like they made gerbils beat Superman too. Like Batman and Superman. These gerbils are just like, hey, you're mine now. And Batman and Superman are like, no, help me, please, Crypto, Batman,
I'm gonna buy all of them and throw a bonfire in the desert.
help.
Okay, let's move on to your honorable mentions because this thing has got me pissed off. I hate it when they fuck up Batman, and DC's been fucking up Batman for the past like 15 to fucking 16 years. Minus the Batman, which was the only good one to come out since the Nolan
Yeah.
film.
I mean, James Gunn taking over it might get a little bit better. I'm just sad that they took out Henry Cavill as Superman.
You
But
know, I liked Henry Cavill's Superman the more I hear about Henry Cavill. Because,
yeah,
he knew The Witcher. He played it like 4 fucking times. He knows like all of these really niche nerd cultures, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly who should be playing your Superman, minus the killing in the first movie.
yeah.
Yeah. Henry Cavill's also going to be in the new Warhammer 40K TV series coming out with Amazon Prime.
I like that because I read about that, and basically he had gone, he he was no longer the Witcher because he turned it down for Superman, which got retconned,
Yeah.
and so Henry Cavill, instead of just going, you know what, I guess I'm done for, went and did something that he just always wanted to do, which was make the 40 Hammer like TV series.
Yeah. 40K universe is just I'm really excited for a big actor like him to do it because now like all the normal people who don't know about 40K because I know 40K is super niche, but like I'm very excited that because Game Workshop who owns 40K does not give out their IP off. But yeah, go ahead, Micah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and then honorable mentions. I'm actually probably going to pass this to Kenny because I've never actually watched it yet. But Endor, I've heard it's a very good TV series. But yeah, I'm going to let him explain that because I don't know.
Very
Oh,
good. Very good is like saying the atomic bomb went easy on Hiroshima.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, so
Andor is the best goddamn thing to happen to Star Wars since fucking Solo, and I will fight people over that decision
what
because
about The Mandalorian?
I like The Mandalorian. Andor's better. I
really?
I watched Andor with low expectations because some of you may know that I did not like Rogue One. Now, I was 3 sheets to the wind in the fucking movie theater when I was watching it, and I was pissed that no Jedi showed up. So we're gonna talk about that. I'm actually gonna come back to that here in a second. I went into Andor with those kind of expectations, being like, I'm gonna be bored to death. Cassian Andor's journey is filled with treachery, it's filled with deceit, it's filled with whodunits, and it is such a fascinating fucking journey through his rise through the rebellion that it is worth not only watching once, but twice, 3 times, as many times as you fucking can, because I need more Andor and I need more Obi-Wan in my
Hmm. Oh yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I
life.
It's on my
like
list.
yeah, like I'll be honest. Like with Star Wars, with the 3 new movies, it was like okay, these were all right, but I think we're done with the Skywalkers, right? Like we need some other content. So is that essentially what Andor's like? Is just some other content
It's some
in the
other
universe?
content. Like he's literally just a scumbag who's scamming people out of money, and the rebellion realized that, oh, this would be perfect spy, you know?
So it's Kenny in a movie. Well, a TV series.
Yeah, I loved him. He was just like, this guy's like, you owe me money. He's like, oh, don't worry, I got you next week, you know? But always that type of guy, but also able to steal like electronics directly from underneath the empire. And like he's not a nice guy, much like he was in Rogue One. And this is where I'm bringing him back around. See, I finished Andor and went, hey, maybe I need to go give Rogue One a second chance. And I fucking loved that film. So,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
I would say the best things happening to Star Wars right now is is Rogue One, Solo, fucking The Mandalorian, season 1 and 2, the back half of the book of Boba Fett, up until the point that they killed Cad Bane, which we're not going to talk about because that was the fucking dumbest thing they could have done. And Obi-Wan, followed by fucking Andor. The
Mm-hmm.
extended universe of Star Wars is carrying Star Wars.
Well, don't forget about the Clone Wars. That's always a good one.
Oh yeah, the Clone Wars. Hey guys, if you ever need to watch Star Wars, do it like this. Watch all the Clone Wars, and then when you're done with that, then watch 1, 2, and 3, and imagine that the propaganda films in the Star Wars universe, the Palpatine put out to discredit the Jedi, and the Clone Wars were the real fucking story. Because
Yeah.
that shit kicks ass.
Okay.
Followed by the Bad Batch, followed by fucking Rogue One, or no, followed by Solo, then Rogue One, then Episode 4, 5, and 6, and then The Mandalorian, 1 and 2, parts of the book of Boba Fett, the Obi-Wan, and fucking Andor. And you will, well, actually watch Andor before. Fuck, I fucked up that timeline. Watch Andor before Rogue One, and Obi-Wan after Rogue One. And you will have the Star Wars timeline. I heard they're apparently working on a 7, 8, 9. I'm excited to see those films. I don't know at all what they could be entailing.
Shit.
Also, if you want like more of Ahsoka, like how her journey is, I know it's a little bit of an iffy TV series, but you actually get a battle like Obi-Wan versus Vader, but instead it's Ahsoka versus Vader.
Ooh,
It's in Star Wars Rebels.
okay.
An episode where Ahsoka pops up, she travels with them, and then she realizes that they're tracking Vader, and she's like, "Oh shoot!" And then funny thing is, somebody made a point about this was that Obi-Wan cut off half of Vader's mask, revealing that Obi-Wan was a friend. In Star Wars Rebels, Ahsoka cuts off the other half of Vader's mask from Obi-Wan, which also indicates she's a friend. And then in the Star Wars The Last Jedi, I believe? No, not The Last Jedi. No. Shoot. The third movie in Luke Skywalker's thing, Luke Skywalker took off Vader's helmet, revealing that Luke Skywalker was family. I was like, that is a good like interpretation of what they just did there, or unless they were even planning it. But it was still awesome that somebody pointed that out. So
There's a lot of like weird little quirks in the Star Wars universe, and I know like people sit there and they go, Solo isn't a good film. You can't replace Indiana Jones, or the like, you can't replace Harrison Ford. But honestly, Solo was a good film, and
yeah,
the fucking the kid that played Solo, I'm not sitting here going, "Hey, that's Harrison Ford." I'm seeing him for his own acting, right? And him right alongside Chewbacca brought back memories of sitting in my fucking like garage eating Pringles and watching Star Wars. And I'm not talking. And if you guys want to know how good my Star Wars cred is, I'm talking about the fucking Star Wars with the orange glow underneath Luke's speeder. I was there in the beginning. I was there through the rise of the extended universe and the destruction of the extended universe by Disney, and I'm here now, still pissed off at 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
But
We
to
don't
make
talk about this.
to make a very long story short, Solo rectified like one of the things that fucking R2D2 said, or see, like R2D2 I think had just hacked into the fucking Millennium Falcon, and he went beep boop beep, and C3PO went, oh your ship has a very distinct dialect, and then fast forward back to Solo, you realize that the fucking what's that? Lando Calrissian updating his droid into the Millennium Falcon gave it a very distinct dialect.
No.
Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. I need to get off Star Wars.
Star Wars expert. Yeah, let's keep moving on.
Yeah. Then next on my honorable mentions is Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun, I've heard, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard that was a great movie.
Yeah, go see it.
And then,
yeah,
then Top Gun Maverick came out, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, it's back!" Which I've seen Top Gun Maverick, and I actually liked that movie. I actually enjoyed it, so I'm planning on going eventually seeing Top Gun itself. But like, I enjoyed that movie, so.
I haven't seen Top Gun Maverick yet. It's on my list of shit to do. But the feedback that I've heard of the film says it's like a really fantastic movie and it pays homage to the first one really well.
Mhm.
That's hard to do. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Avatar.
Yeah. I haven't seen Avatar yet, so don't say anything. Don't spoil it for me, please.
I'm not. Look, guys. Hey, if you want to ruin or if you want to use productively 2 hours and 40 minutes of your day, go watch the first Stone Gauntlet. We nerd out and we talk about dumb shit playing in the background. If you want to go and waste 2 hours and 40 minutes of your day, go watch fucking Avatar 2 for no fucking reason that you can't just see it on your big screen.
That bad? That bad? Really?
It's a fucking excuse to show off scenery without anything going on. That's
Oh,
like
shit.
that's what
Okay.
I keep hearing about it.
Yeah. Then, like I told you about the whole fighting scenes, looks like the Jurassic World arcade game, like that
Shit.
shooting game. Yeah.
Okay. Well, damn. Okay. No, I'm glad. I'm glad you guys brought this up. I thought it was good. Thought
You
it
know,
was gonna be good.
someone the other day was like, "Oh, what about Avatar 2?" And I'm like, "What about it? The sequel to a movie that came out 10 years ago that I could care less about watching today?"
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the only good thing about Avatar, from what I've heard, is if you watch it in 3D, you get like they spent too much money on it, but you get the perfect scenery in a movie. You just don't get like the good plot or like the fighting scenes because they used all their money to do all the scenery. Like I've heard the whale like jumping out of the water is amazing in 3D.
Yeah,
That's like the only good thing I've seen.
I'm sure if you drop like 10 hits of acid, Avatar's probably the greatest fucking film on the planet. but, but to the average viewer, like movie goer, it's I'm not excited about it at all.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're saying it's equal to dropping 10 hits of acid and watching the old school, the Windows Media Player graphics. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, yeah, but...
Yeah, that's something Micah will have no idea about. I'm so sorry, Micah, but I'll send you a video sometime. It's a
Okay.
generational
Oh
thing.
my god, did you ever play Windows Movie Maker?
I
I don't.
oh my God, you've unlocked a memory. Yeah,
With
yeah,
all like the really shitty voice lines that they would give you to construct a film around?
yeah. God,
I could do a
our
couple of them.
childhood.
Hold on, it's oh no, a rat. they're like so out of place and like there's no excitement to any of them. God. I'll send
Yeah,
I'll send you a clip that I found on YouTube that does every voice clip from the game.
Yeah, it's surprising that we. I mean, actually, it makes perfect sense why we are the way we are now. But yeah, cool. Well, want to go over your last one, Micah?
Yes, and then next on my honorable mentions is Wednesday, which I've heard is also a really good show. I've heard Jenna Ortega. Sorry if I'm saying her name wrong, probably, but I've heard that she plays an amazing Wednesday Addams. Like, it got to the point where I actually watched a video where she's like, "Yeah, for the entire show, I never smiled." Like, like she practiced the point where she would never smile for this show, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, she said that herself, but like, I've heard good things about Wednesday. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but I've
I
heard.
I vicariously watched it while my wife has been watching it, and honestly, like it it reminds me of like what the Riverdale treatment, but I actually liked Wednesday, whereas I think Riverdale like just should have never happened. Like nobody asked for that. They could have just made that an OG content. But essentially, what I mean by that is they took something and they kind of made it like uh teen edgy, right? Like
Mm.
and it's like a little over the top. That's what they did with Riverdale anyways. And like but and the female demographic just loved it, ate it right up. Wednesday was kind of that, but at the same time like they did a good job. Like I enjoyed what I saw. Like sometimes I cringed a little bit because I hate when shows will like do things to cater to a singular demographic, and when it's obvious, it's like "Ugh," like I'm not a big fan of it, but I thought they did a good job. I mean, obviously, it's huge, right? Like everyone's been talking about it, so
Wednesday for me, uh, Christina Ricci's always gonna be my Wednesday, right from the get go. But they incorporated her in the show, and Jenna Ortega seems kind of cute and kind of cool. So I'd be down to watch it. You know,
yeah,
Yeah.
uh, the rest of the cast looks on point. It's just a modern reimagining of the Adams family. It's not like they're trying to fucking I don't know make a
yeah.
live action Lion King. Um,
Uh oh, uh oh.
so, so yeah, I'd totally watch it.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, let's move on. So anime and manga for this year for me. It's funny. The best for me was easy. The worst was actually pretty hard. Like I actually had to look through like disappointments of 2022 just because I feel like I kind of pick the winners. Maybe it was just this year, right? But I definitely got some stuff and so for the best, I mean, I threw Cyberpunk Edge Runners as like my top there. And the reason why is it's a short show. It's like 8, 9 episodes, I think. It's short. It's to the point. It's beautifully done. Studio Trigger is the studio that does it, and I love them. They're so good with fight scenes. Their art style is just amazing. I mean, have either of you, since I mentioned it in the last podcast, did either of you check it out or look at it?
No, but I'm about to, honestly, because uh, I like what you put there is like just put it back on the map, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, and sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, you're fine. Yeah, no. I mean, I want to hear what you guys think about this stuff too and ask me questions because I feel like anime and manga doesn't get a fair rep in the industry. Like a lot of people just don't watch anime just because it's anime and it's because of certain tropes that they've seen in the past that are cringy. So, I mean, it's like I love to just shed light on good stuff. Um,
Yeah, and you are 100% right. It revived Cyberpunk. Like
yes.
that's like yeah, I saw that you wrote that there, and I was like, oh yeah, I agree with that because Cyberpunk was I wouldn't say dying, but to an extent it was. People had kind of given up on it. Cars were flying through windows. I mean, there was. Did you ever see that that glitch of like the car that flew into the hotel lobby?
No, I haven't. I'll have to look it up
This guy,
here.
this guy's like talking to the hotel lobby clerk, and she's like, "Yeah, thanks for getting a room. By the way, it's very nice and quiet here." And then like the fucking Lamborghini comes smashing through the wall of the fucking hotel right in front of your character because it glitched there. And you're just like,
Uh,
kind of feel
it's
like she's lying.
it's full of it's yeah. I mean, when the game first came out, everyone was hyped, and then like I have a 3080, like a nice ass graphics card. I have like my PC's beef. It's beef, and yeah, I couldn't play it, but yeah, it revived it. Like but it's funny like. It everyone loves it. I mean, at the convention that I just went to, Magfest, like eh, I saw so many Rebeccas and so many. It's funny. I only remember Rebecca and David, but I so many people. It's obviously huge, and yeah, and it's short. That's what I love about it. There's no bullshit. There's no filler. I hate when shows have filler, like because I don't have a lot of time. So you check it out, guys. It's worth it, and it's short, and every episode is just unique and awesome. My next is Chainsaw Man. It's funny. Like my one of my buddies, he's younger. He's like 18. It's my one of my buddy's sons, but he's my buddy too. He's always talking about Chainsaw Man because he read manga, and I wasn't a big manga reader until like maybe last year. And he's like, dude, you got to read Chainsaw Man. It's so good. And I'm like, that sounds so dumb. I was like, I can't. I don't know how I feel about Chainsaw Man. But once I started seeing trailers for it, I was like, okay, we gotta watch this. And I mean, this show is funny. The show is sad. The show has great it's got a lot of fighting, a lot of violence, but it's just the world they've built is really cool. It's in my opinion unique. I'm sure there's someone out there who's seen like a niche anime that like kind of stole from or something because that seems to have how everything works, but it's just super worth it. It's on Crunchyroll. You've got my account, Kirby, so check it out sometime.
Oh yeah,
Um,
thanks to
but
Rabble, I now have a Crunchyroll account, and I watched some anime uh during our break in the Stone Gauntlet episodes. Um, it's Yamishibai, the Dark Theater.
yeah, how are you enjoying it?
It's pretty good. Um, Japanese are very blunt. They'll be like, "This is the story of a guy who fell in love with a girl," and it's like, okay, And sometimes at the same time, they're very obscure in their meaning, and it's like, so the spider just ate that person for no reason. Okay, you know.
Yeah,
But then some of them are kind of creepy. And the thing that Japanese culture does so well, and it took me a while for me to figure this out, but like the Japanese, the Koreans, even the Chinese, especially the Thai, is horror films
yeah,
and horror monsters. Like the fucking, you know, we're gonna cover some of these in the Crook and Murder episodes, but I love their depiction of horror, and that's all I got.
yeah. The Grudge is was inspired um by a Japanese horror film. And yeah, there the Japanese are just when it comes to art, it's they're really creative. Um, you know, Katamari Damacy. I mean, that's like they're creative. Like they have a really creative culture. They just thrive on that. But yeah, like Chainsaw Man, check it out. It's like cinematic. It's super good. And then my third that I gave it because it was just like such a breakout for me, and I don't really like uh I don't like when like my enemies to be somewhat normal. Like I don't like slice of life stuff. I kind of like when there's powers. It's kind of unrealistic. Like like my sister loves a bunch of sport animes and stuff. I'm just not a big fan. But Spy X Family like came in this year, took over by storm. Amazing show. It's essentially about a spy from the east going to the west, and he has a job, and he has to uh, get in good with a like dictator who has a son in like a fancy school. So he has to. So Lloyd, who's the spy, has to like get a fake family. So he picks up a girl from an orphanage, and she just so happens to be telepathic from like a program, and it's so funny. Like it's a bunch of comedy mixed in to a little bit of action, and then on top of that, they end up like while he's looking for a wife, he meets this assassin. He doesn't know she's an assassin, but she's also looking for a husband as like a cover. And so essentially they're both using each other as a cover. The daughter just wants a family. Like it's super funny. Like and it's not anything I usually watch. Like I'm a big JoJo's Fist of the North Star like shonen fan, but like it's awesome. At this point, I think they only have 2 seasons, like 25 episodes. Another show where there's just not a lot of filler. Like it's great. It's good stuff.
Well, there you go, Micah. If you strike out in high school, you could always go get yourself a Japanese telepathic orphan girl.
Yes, yes. Um,
You did.
yeah, I was about to say, Mike
Sorry,
is muted.
sorry, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Also, I did hear a little bit of the Chainsaw Man because I was doing something. But ever since you mentioned Chainsaw Man, all I've seen is Chainsaw Dog on
Oh,
all of
Cheetah.
my things. Yeah, like
Yep.
I
like
keep seeing
ever
Chainsaw
since you
Man.
mentioned
Yeah.
every since you mentioned it, all I've seen is Chainsaw Dog. It's popped up on millions of like my apps, and I'm like, oh, how about that? It's Chainsaw Dog.
Yeah.
Because Google is always listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Poke is fucking just cute. I mean, cute fucking chainsaw dog. Like just it. Yeah. I mean, check it out. It is just it's already becoming one of those things where you're gonna start seeing it everywhere. Like it is just super. It's gonna become like a staple essentially. And I don't. The reason why I don't talk about it more or like explain the plot is really because it's just fun to learn about it. So I don't want to take that away from you guys because like, but essentially like it's a whole society set on like fighting devils by making contracts with devils. It's interesting. Yeah, like but yeah, so that was my best. My worst kind of moments for 2022 was that Berserk announcement fake out fucking sucked. I was really hyped. They threw on a 60-day counter on the main site, and they were just like, "Yep, you know, something big's coming." And then it was just a remaster of
Oh,
a like 12 episode show that they already did of like a previous arc, and everyone thought it was going to be like a new arc. Now, I will say the one redeeming quality of that though is I got some fake info when looking up Berserk for our last podcast. They
Oh,
have gone like 200 chapters, 250 chapters deep. So they are not as far back as I thought. Um, they might skip some stuff, but I'm actually gonna check out the anime and watch it so that I'm not so uninformed because I will be talking about Berserk in the future as I finish it because it's just getting more and more popular. You'll see.
oh
Um,
yeah. You
yeah.
can be our Berserk expert.
Oh, I mean,
Berserk.
yeah, it's I mean, now that I'm reading more of it, it's just Elden Ring. I mean, like I will send you some. I'll send you both some like artwork from it. Like the part I'm reading now, I'm like, holy shit, this Elden Ring just basically tore this right out of the pages of Berserk.
So
Which I think is good.
what are the two things that remind you of Elden Ring again? It's Berserk and what else?
Elden Ring, what was the other one? I don't know. It's definitely Berserk, but I can't remember. I
Oh,
didn't know.
maybe
I
it
said
was Berserk you
things.
talked about last.
Yeah, it was Berserk that I talked about last
Yeah,
because
Oh,
you
okay.
mentioned how Elden Ring actually had some of the swords sticking out of the ground from Berserk. I do remember that.
yeah, like the sword sticking out of the ground, and also the giant sword is Guts' sword from Berserk, and
Need to go
so
watch Berserk then.
yeah, yeah, watch it or read it. I mean, it's up to you. If you want the order, like I'll send you the order, just because if you just try to watch the 2016 Berserk, it kind of puts you deep in the story, which is weird to me, and that's why I didn't understand. Like I thought so. There's one that came out in like the 90s that starts from the beginning. I thought that the 2016 one also started from the beginning,
And it
but it
does not.
actually starts. It actually starts like 150 chapters in, which
Holy
is
shit.
interesting. Yeah, so like it's very interesting, but because I realized that today because I was looking at Berserk stuff and I was like, wait a second, that character is in like chapter 200. What is she doing animated? So yeah, but yeah, I'm still a little sad that they didn't announce more. Hopefully they do. My second one is a little weird. I really had to dig for because there really wasn't that much disappointing stuff for me this year, but Pacific Rim Black. Like, have you guys watched the Pacific Rim movies?
Yes,
I need to.
So the
I
first
liked
one
them.
is good. It could have been better, but they didn't have a huge budget. But I love giant robots. I fucking love giant robots. Like Evangelion is a fucking masterpiece. I mean, it, yeah, like Gundam. It's Darling in the Franxx, like all these things.
You
I
know,
love giant robots.
Micah's like a massive Transformers fan.
Oh shit. Okay.
Bumblebee and Optimus Prime all the way. Let's go.
I
Yeah.
honestly, while watching one of the Michael Bay Transformer films, which I know are chock full of advertisements. And they're kind of fun though, I guess, when you look at it. Like Mark Wahlberg getting out of a truck and seeing like a giant Bud Light truck right there taking up half the movie theater screen, and he reaches down and like pops one and drinks it. It's like the most commercial thing I've ever fucking seen in a film
Seen in a
ever.
movie. Yeah.
But they're kind of fun to find.
You know, you saying that it reminds me of drinking Monster in Death Stranding. So
Yeah, that's,
funny, funniest fucking thing ever. I love Death Stranding. But yeah. So Pacific Rim Black though, I went ahead. This came out. It came out in 2021. But in 2022, the second season came out and they finally canceled it. But it has that universe is so vast, and they just decided, you know what? We're going to make this show about teenagers because that's what we want to do. And that's the typical anime trope sometimes is make it about teenagers instead of just, like there's so much content. This show is essentially about this whole universe is about portals opening up underwater and then kaiju coming through them and attacking cities. And so literally some countries built walls and then they finally like figured out let's build these giant robots to fight them off, right? And so every country literally has its own robot on both sides. And they could have and they used to actually like televise that stuff and you see that some of that in the first movie. They could have made a series about that. They could have made a series about when the fucking kaijus first came. Like that would have been fucking dope. Like just total waste of potential. But instead they said, "Now we're gonna make this shit about teenagers who are in a colony by themselves because we think this is what the people want, right? This kids watch anime essentially is what they said, not
I'm
not adults." So what were you gonna say, Micah?
I'm glad that you told me that because I kept looking at them like it's Pacific Rim, but like it looks iffy, and I don't know if I want to watch it. But I'm glad I now got more info on it. So
Yeah,
Just like to say thank you.
it's art. I haven't watched it completely. I watched like 2, 3 episodes of the first season, and I was like, no, like what the fuck? Like they just like and that's why I'm also gonna actually we don't have a ton of time, so I'm actually gonna make that a topic in my next. But the teenage anime trope, I want to see it end. I need it to be over. Like, and I'll talk about some of the other stuff next podcast. But like, it's got to go because anime is not just for kids. Like the American people, don't just like teenage anime. Like it's
Yeah,
not just teenagers.
I mean your DBZers are growing up. You know,
Yeah,
like me personally, I grew up on like Outlaw Star, Dragon Ball Z, Evangelion, you know, and like fucking Tenchi Muyo,
yeah.
and we're growing up, you know, so a lot of those themes gotta mature a little bit more.
Well,
Like,
and what's funny is all those that you mentioned, are any of them high schoolers?
actually, no.
No, right? Exactly. Exactly. Like nobody wants like I can only think of like one or two shows where I was like, okay, it makes sense for them to be in high school. But like most of the other ones, I'm like, why? Like I don't the protagonist doesn't need to be 16 here.
Actually, Gohan's in high school, but he gives zero fucks about school because he can like train up and be more powerful than his dad.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, go ahead, Micah.
that's the sad part is like, because I do agree. I don't fully like some of the teenage things. Like some of them do fit well with certain shows and stuff. Kind of more expanding to everything. But like, I like it when they don't have all that. Because
Yeah.
like from my understanding, Goku seems like a funny older guy who's like cool. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm like, that's the type of thing that looks interesting to me. Is like you need those older like things, kind of like Iron Man. Like if you made a teenage version of him, which actually they did, which the show was kind of good, but like, yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just
it's okay to make them teenagers, but when they make characters teenagers, they often say, "Okay, how are we going to depict this teenager? How are we going to make him act like a teenager? Oh, we're going to make him fucking whiny, and we're going to make him like." And it's like it's just not true, right? Like,
yeah,
it like like there's a show, My Hero. Um, it's and I'll talk about it in the next podcast. But essentially, the main character is like the whiniest motherfucker to live. I mean, they do arc him up, but like to being like a better character, but it's awful. And like to the point where I'm like, Alex, you would like I told my wife, I'm like, you would really like the show, but she's like, I can't get past it. He just whines too much. Like it's cringe. Like it's just completely too cringy.
I was,
But
you remember back in the day, like the Mad and Cracked magazines?
yeah,
I was reading this Cracked magazine one time, and they did like the typical anime manga or something is what it was called. And it was like over here in a campfire, we have the angsted teenager
yep,
with the power of gods. And it
yep,
shows him, and he's looking like super sullen, and he's like, nobody understands my dark and difficult past. And then like
yeah,
this wise wizard comes up, and he's like, would you like to talk about your dark and difficult past? And
yeah,
the hero's like, I don't want to talk about it. And it's like, continue on in the next episode.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's the sad reality, right? Is like it is true, and that's why so many people are like, anime? Nah, that's not for me, right? Like I have friends who will completely disregard it. But I mean, if Berserk was live action, oh, people would know about it. People would know about it 100%.
Well, I mean,
But
that's the reason I like Naruto. Is because Naruto broke that trope, you know. In the first couple episodes, yeah, he's kind of a whiny little bitch, but then like Sasuke is like, hey, dude, you can't give up on these fucking fights, you know. And if you're gonna be a bitch, stay back at the fucking village. And from that point on, Naruto essentially threw himself into every situation, whether it seemed impossible or not. He didn't whine about it. He just jumped in and figured it out as it went.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, I need to watch Naruto. I think I don't know if I can call myself an anime and manga expert without watching Naruto
And
in
that
this
I
day and age.
I love Naruto because it breaks the tropes. You know, it feels fresh compared to like shit I grew up on, like Pokemon, where Pokemon was the same thing every single episode, and I don't know why it took me 5 years to figure that out.
Yeah. Pokemon is like Pokemon's a great game, but they made the show because of the game. Like, and
Rest in
they,
peace, Ash.
yeah, I mean, but yeah. Oh, did they finally? He's like gone now, right?
Yeah. Well, they're gonna do an 11-part episode just to end his and Pikachu's journey.
Just to end
So
him.
A fuck 11-part episode. You lost me there. If it can't be done in 2 episodes, then I'm out.
It's just
But
gonna be 4 episodes of him talking to Pikachu about their journeys.
well, I don't know if it's 11-part. I've heard it's 11 episode. I've also heard it's only like one thing that's gonna pop up or whatever. But
yeah.
I don't know
Well,
why we followed Ash for so long. He just won his championship. It took him 20 years to become a Pokemon master in what it takes a 10-year-old 10 days.
well, the funny thing is he stayed 10. Then he grew younger. He grew younger. He grew young.
and he grew younger.
Yeah, if you look at all the versions of him, he literally looks like he goes younger and younger and younger.
You know, we're gonna throw this theory out there. Hard hitting facts right here, guys. People age in reverse in the Pokemon universe.
Dun dun
Dude,
dun.
I mean, have you seen the? We'll go over a little, and I'll go over the last thing. But have you seen the theory about how there's like no men in the Pokemon universe because of a war? And essentially, Pokemon is like about like how after like World War II, like if you look at like the first games, like there's supposedly like no men in it. There's only like a couple, and like every character is a female besides like Ash, obviously.
Wow.
And it's because of like they were essentially like talking about yep, all the men died in war or something. Look it up. It's an interesting
What
theory.
the fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, but it's real. It's real. Like it's not.
Ash in
It's
that world.
yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for ruining 20 years of Pokemon love for me, right there. Everyone's just the Walking Dead Pikachu.
Sorry, man. Sorry. Um, my last thing though was so when they did JoJo's Part 6 release schedule, so it was insane. And I thought maybe I'm just being a fucking dramatic person about this, right? Like maybe it wasn't that bad. And then I did the numbers and I was like, okay, it was this bad. So when they released JoJo's Part 6, Netflix got the rights to do it. And they released the first 12 episodes of Part 6 on December 1st of 2021. And then like they just dropped them all right then and there. They did not release more episodes for 274 days.
Jesus.
Yes, and they dropped the second set 274 days in September. I even thought it was August. I was giving them more credit, but when I looked it up, it was September, and I was like, oh, maybe other shows did this. So I even looked it up, but so the third set of episodes did come out December 1st. Um, and so that ended up being basically a full year since the first set dropped out. And so the whole show, the whole season was 38 episodes. Now, hey, a full year for that doesn't sound that bad, right? Like, okay, like, at least you got 38 episodes in a full year.
Yeah.
It could have been longer. So when they did part 5 though, part 5 released October 6th, 2018, and the final episode was July 28th, 2019. That was only 295 days. They were only like 20 days more than the first set and the second set that came out for part 6. And so it was just awful. They essentially when they dropped those first set of episodes, basically everyone fucking forgot about JoJo's until and then all of a sudden it was like, "Oh shit, the episodes came out." Like we didn't even notice it. It was kind of just wild. And then before it's like, "Oh, well maybe part 6 was longer." Part 5 had one more episode than part 6 did. And so I just thought it was fucking buck wild. It shows that like this whole like drop all the episodes at the same time thing is not always like a blessing, right? Especially if you're gonna do it in chunks because it's just awful. But I don't know. I know it's unique to. It's a unique thing that happened. I hope we don't see it in other shows, but yeah, it's painful, very painful.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
uh,
No, I mean no.
well, that's Netflix for you. Like, you know, I'll bust open Netflix and be like, I guess I'll just fucking resort to one of my go-tos because there's nothing like on, and then be like, oh, the new season of You just dropped. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like
But I will say, watch JoJo's,
watch
please,
JoJo's.
please. JoJo's first season about vampires. Second season still about vampires. Third season it's about magical ghosts that
Magic.
like essentially powers. Everyone basically has like a magical ghost that is like unique powers to them. It's just the show is amazing. It is one of my favorites of all time. Like I'm gonna start reading the manga because um JoJo's came out in like the 80s. Like they finished I think they finished part 6. The manga finished part 6 in like 2003. So like they just finished the anime adaptation for it. So it's pretty wild. But but yeah, I mean that's
Alright.
that's really it for me. What do you guys have anything to say about that or
I
any
just need to
questions?
watch it. That's all
Yeah,
I gotta say.
I think I'll just have to watch JoJo's
Yeah,
and
and
Berserk.
what's cool about JoJo's is part 1 and part 2, watch it in English. The dub is actually really good. Some people might fight me for that, but I think it's really good. They're supposed to be English anyways, so um it like works out. I wanted to leave a couple minutes because I last time I knew you were excited about this. Do you want to ask me any questions about conventions, anime conventions?
Yeah, actually, when is the biggest one?
So that's actually like a very hard question. So you got, I think it's Anime LA, is huge, and it's massive. I think they're when is Anime LA? LA Anime Expo is it's on July 1st of this year, but they get 115,000 people. The convention center in DC for Otakon, which is also another big convention, is only like 50,000 people.
Holy
And then
shit!
like Anime New York City is like 50,000 people. Uh Anime Matsuri in Texas is 40-50,000 people. So Anime LA, like what is it? They call it just Anime Expo is fucking massive. Yeah. But if you're ever near one, just go. Get a day pass and go. It's a cool experience. Um, there's a lot to do. Like it's not just all anime. Um, they'll do like gaming panels too. Like the fest I just actually went to, the convention I went to, Magfest, is in the Gaylord National Harbor, and it was video games and anime, and it was one of the coolest conventions I've ever been to. Like it's just, essentially it was like 200 to 300 arcade cabinets set up. They set up consoles everywhere, so people were playing Smash, people were playing Guitar Hero, people were playing freaking like like Battlefield, Call of Duty, like Black Ops 2. It was so weird. It was like everything on the board. Really cool stuff. And it's also cool to see these people's cosplays. Like they really put in a shit ton of work, man. It's awesome, and you see some cool stuff. But
Okay,
yeah.
so if we're gonna cover one or two of them on the podcast, like if say there's a big convention, sort of like E or BGA's, which one would you like to cover?
Oh man. Um. Hmm. I'll have to think about that, and I'll keep my eyes open if you want me to cover one for sure.
Oh,
And
definitely.
yeah, I mean, I am going to KatsuCon next month, which is a pretty big one at the Gaylord. And then the next month I'm literally going to like GalaxyCon, so I'll definitely, I'll take some pictures actually, and so that way maybe I can do a slideshow or something, show you guys a little bit more into the world
We'll
of
throw that
the.
up on our Discord here. The yeah, Rebel Stream. I mean, you're gonna be our boots on the ground, bro. You're gonna be covering this in your sections, I should hope.
Yeah, no, 100%. If you guys think that's something that people want and that you would like to hear about, I'll definitely bring it. It's exciting stuff. I didn't think I would be a huge fan of them, and my sister really wanted to go to Otakon, and I was like, yeah, I'll go with you. Like I like anime, but I would have never thought I'd go in person to hang out with a bunch of people who like anime, and it's fucking awesome. I mean, it's the nerdiest shit I've ever done in my life, but oh man, like it's cool for sure.
Also, I wanna make a recommendation. Can we do a Star Wars centric episode? Like Star Wars and video games, Star Wars and movies, and Star Wars and anime?
I
100%.
would do that.
Yeah.
Alright.
And there is literally a 12 episode thing of Star Wars anime on Disney Plus. So,
So, due to celebrating May the 4th, we're gonna do a Star Wars centric Stone Gauntlet on that day. Or not on that day, but on in that month.
yeah.
Um Next month I think we're just gonna be back to normal news. However you guys want to handle your sections, that's up to you. I'll probably be talking about the 2 new games that just dropped. Um,
Okay.
if they both have dropped by that point, but at
Yeah.
least one of them.
Yeah.
And
I think,
I,
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I think we should wrap it up. Did pretty good
uh,
today, guys.
Yeah. No, this was fun. I really enjoyed it. And, I would love to, you know, if any viewers want to hear anything specific about all three topics, feel free to reach out to us in the Discord or on the Twitch channel.
Or
And
on crookirish.studios@gmail.com. Uh, our YouTube channel is Crook Irish Studios, and our Twitch is Crook Irish.
cool.
For all the Spotify people.
yep. Hit
Cool.
us up with any questions. I do agree.
Yeah.
Just want to at me on the Discord server if you want to ask me any questions, even though I'm a very interestingly boring person.
He will
You
engage
can
with
hit me
you,
up.
and
Yeah.
you will probably be overblown with the amount of memes he sends at you. So,
They're actually GIFs. Get it right. I thought you were trying to get with the teenage lingo. It's called a GIF.
I think
bless
it's
him, bro. That's
yeah.
PogChamp.
Hold on, let me get my Puss in Boots GIF real quick.
All right, I think that's it, guys. I'm Kenny Crook Irish. Thank you all of you for.
I'm kidding. Crook Irish.
Thanks everybody for coming in and supporting us. We'll be back next month to talk about even nerdier shit that you may not have want to heard about. In due time, keep it weird out there.
Keep it weird.
Yep. But yeah. Web y'all later.
Are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm Spider Dude, and I'll just web y'all later.
No, it's definitely awkward. Rebel, you got any goodbyes? You want to just make it super awkward?
No, just please hit us up. And also, I think I might try to stream with Kirby at some point if you're down.
Oh, that'd be fun. Fortnite.
Yeah.
All three of us could do it.
That's what I'm thinking. Like we should do a scheduled Fortnite stream once a month or something. So.
I'd be down for that. Let's
let's
talk about it.
Yeah, I
we
think
need to get back to that.
Yeah, that would. I think it would be really cool to do it with us three, because then it would kind of like, it would be something that's impromptu, right? We could just have fun with it. It's not like we have to plan to go in. We just go play Fortnite, and if we talk about stuff, we talk about stuff, right? So.
Yeah.
Yo, I call that team building. We're in a podcast together. Let's go shoot some people in Fortnite together.
Yeah. 100%.
War!